Hi, everybody.
Hi, friends.
We are back. We are finally here on our new time, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. We're finally together and not running replays like we have had to, but that's okay. It always gives you a review of what we've done so far. Yeah, so it's good to be back. I'm through my training at work, and that went well. And I'm basically in the training wheel stage, so it's 90 days of that. So, but it's good to be here, good to be back. We're gonna do a fun demo today, and Miss Amber is here with us. She said she has a bit of a sore throat, so that'll be up to her how much she talks and says and gets included. But as always, guys, if you can give us a thumbs up and a share and
I'll go out and share where I can.
Yes, please. Share us out because, like I said, this is our new time, so it's going to take a little while for folks to get used to us being live at this time because we have, since the beginning of the year, basically, we've been Fridays at 4. So, but that just won't work for my schedule, unfortunately. So,
yes.
As far as anything new going on with me, it's all just been work. Miss Amber's been busy as well. She's been doing some things with teaching her art class. And today, what did you do today? I forget. At the school.
I lead a discipleship group with the students at lunchtime.
Nice.
It's a way for them to have an adult in their lives to check in and, make sure, if they have any questions about chapel or life.
Okay.
And we just hung out today, ate lunch, and painted little wooden pumpkins. So.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time to me.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes we go out to lunch, but since we were painting pumpkins, we stayed in today.
Yeah. That sounds like a fun activity.
Yeah.
So as far as beading goes, I've kind of been MIA. I just finally got some filming done today. So you'll be seeing those videos getting posted very soon. So I was glad for that. I'm going to get into a regular schedule here pretty soon, I'm hoping, so that I can be more consistent again with my videos.
Mm-hmm.
So, but today we're going to make this fun bangle, and it does have a closure on it. You'll see it better whenever I turn the camera down, but it's just a wire wrap bangle. And we're going to need, of course, you're going to need some beads. You're going to need some 18 gauge wire, some 20 gauge wire, and some 24 or 26 gauge wire, whatever you have on hand. You could probably even get away with 22 because it's pretty thin, but it depends on how used to working with wire you are and how, if your hands have issues or something, you're probably going to want to use the smaller gauge. And there's Miss Melanie. Hi, Melanie. So good to see you. So we are finally back, and we're at our new live time. So if you get a chance, share us out. But we are going to, as folks come in, I'm going to turn the camera down. I'm going to remove myself to do that because that can be interesting. So we'll turn the camera down, and we'll start looking at some beads at least.
Sounds good. I'm trying to change up the view here that I'm still here, but that you can making Trish bigger. So we'll see if we can do that. So
here we are. Turn my lights down here so we can actually see what's happening. Okay.
Here we go. We'll do this.
Oh, perfect.
There we go. I was trying to. Oh, I'm glad you found us, Melanie. It's a little kind of crazy. My son just got home and everything. Kind of crazy day. But here we are. Yay. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody.
For sure. Amen. So as I said, this is our little bracelet we're going to be making. It's just a fun, simple bracelet. I know it looks harder, but it's pretty easy, and it's really cool that you can actually get it to have a closure on it, because most of your bangles, they're open on the back, but it's just something different that you can do. You could even hang charms from this, which I did not do, but you could certainly do that. But yeah, it's a lot of wire work, but it is very rewarding. As you can see, they really come out really pretty. And of course, I did my first one that I did pink, so shocker. So we're going to use today, where I grabbed some beads from the Stay Golden box, from the Magical Mystery Bead box from Jesse James Beads. So we're going to use that, and it's a beautiful fall box. I really like it, and I'm going to be posting soon the newest box, and it is a Wizard of Oz box that is going to be going up on my channel, and you can check that box out and see we're doing an unboxing of it. So I'm going to set this card to the side and kind of go over the basics here with you guys. So as I said, we're going to need 18 gauge, 20 gauge, and some 24, 26 gauge wire. We're going to build this bracelet in layers. So to build the bracelet in layers, we're going to go ahead and start with our 18 gauge wire. I'm going to use this strand as my main beads for my piece. So I'm going to have to open that up, and then I'm going to use,
I like that.
It is. Isn't that beautiful?
Very fall.
Look at those flowers.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Not pretty?
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. And these like lampwork beads here.
Oh my goodness.
Very pretty. So, and then I'm going to use,
Sorry.
Hi, who is that?
Carrie Moore's here.
Oh, hi, Carrie. And then I have some little crystals that I'm going to use in place of these little tiny pearls that I used on this bracelet. But you could use seed beads, 2mm bicones, 3mm bicones would work, anything like that. So I'm going to snip my strand here and open it up. That way we can pick which ones we want to use. And it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 beads on there. And it's going to vary because of the size of the beads. But you basically, for my wrist, I would make like a 6 or 6.5 inch piece beaded. And then you're going to have your clasp. Since you're not adding a clasp to the end, you can make it, a 1/2 inch or so bigger than you normally would make. So normally I have a 7-inch wrist. I'm going to make a 6-inch beaded part on my bracelets. And then, you got to count that inch or so for the clasp and the jump rings and all that stuff. We do have a clasp here, but it's going to, you're going to want to give yourself a few more beads for that. And I can see, yeah, I did beadwork on this about 6.5 inches. So that would work for me. So if you can figure the math backwards for that for yourself. So what I'm going to do, I got my 18 gauge wire here. I'm just going to straighten this out a little bit with my wire straightener. Just to kind of don't do too much because it'll work hard in it. And I'm going to work right on the spool for now. Okay, because that's going to be my little stopper at the end. So we'll just start beading on our beads. Hopefully most of these will fit on here. Because with the 18 gauge, I have to drop those spacers, because this one at least, because it has a smaller hole.
Oh.
And you need to have a decent size. They don't have to be giant for 18 gauge wire, but you want to have a decent size piece anyway. So, and you can put on, if you want to put spacers in, as long as they have a big enough hole. That's why I like these strands, because a lot of times they have the bigger holes on them.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just stringing on. Let's do that. And we're just, if you're having trouble getting your wire or your bead down your wire, just straighten your wire out. That's why I took the straightener over it, because I wanted to be able to string these on without them getting caught up on the wire. So I'm going to put on these beautiful flowers. Hopefully, I don't know if they'll fit, but we'll give it a try. I don't think they will. So, and that's okay. I mean, you don't have to use every single bead in it, but, and we can always add beads to the ends if we need to add more length. There's plenty of beads in these bead boxes for sure. So that.
And I'm in a Bible journaling conference, so I have some what they call fussy cutting to do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm going to sit here and fussy cut while you...
All right, fair enough.
Maybe make the bracelet later. I'm excited. So pretty.
Just, these beads always just make me drool. Now, I feel
so you have
like
such pretty beads.
Oh, I'm going to go back here because I missed the bead cap, so I want to make sure and put that on, because the metal, of course, really makes your pieces sing. Although we'll have wire wrap between it, I still want to have that accent of gold in there.
Yeah.
So let's put that on. That's what we have so far. And then we're going to go with a Heishi bead and spacer and our gorgeous center bead. So we're going to work our way back across now.
Okay.
And just match the pattern that we just did on this side. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I had 10 beads on there. So this actually, once we get the wrapping done between it, you got to kind of account for that little bit of space there. But I think we'll be okay.
Terry, yes, we are. Sorry.
We are
here.
We are here for real this time. Yes.
Not just a video.
Hi, Terry. Yes.
Sorry about that, guys. It just how it happened.
Yeah, I mean, with my work schedule and everything, I was full time for like almost 3 weeks, basically. So there was no way I was teaching when I was full time. So my health just would not allow that. So here we are. We're back. I'm going to my part-time schedule, and things are going to be wonderful now.
There he goes. Oh my gosh. People. I hear people. Yes, Terry, you hear us. We're so excited to be here. Yes.
Is that a little passive aggressive or what, Tara? Of course, I like to pick on her. That's the highlight, right?
Well, Terry can take it, right?
Yes, she can. Yes, she can. So I want to leave myself enough wire so I can have space between my beads. And I'm going to kind of gauge this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is really only about 6 inches of beads close together, but it'll probably end up being 6.5 by the time I put the space between them. So let's go for it. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a loop on this end of the piece. So I'm just going to, let's see, I want to make it a nice enough size. So I'm going to use my
question for you.
Yes, dear. I was so lost the last couple of weeks. How is the new job going, Trisha? Hi, Terry. Yeah, the new job's going great. Like I said, I was full-time for almost 3 weeks. So I wasn't going to be teaching during that time. But now this week is like my first week where I'm going to have like 2 days off and only work 3 days and, stuff like that. So it'll be a little easier. So I just took the end of this and I'm wrapping around the largest part on my bell making plier. Okay, so we have that right now. And then I'm just going to take my chain nose pliers and hold on to that. And then I'm just going to wrap this wire around the main wire just to make sure that we have, just to get it nice and attached, and then we can start cutting the piece off of the spool.
Terry, we were lost without all of you too. Oh my goodness.
Yes, we missed you. I was very excited to get back to teaching today. And like I said, I filmed all day, so got lots done.
Well, and it's crazy too, because Trish and I are used to talking every day, and now we
can't. Oh
my.
I might, well, I'll be able to text you more like at lunch and stuff, but.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was just very hectic.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks, that's for sure.
So this is what we have so far, guys. We have our loop on the end, and we wrap there. But again, we want to make sure that we have enough room to groove. So we're going to leave it still on the spool for now. And first, we're going to take our 20 gauge wire, and we're going to cut a nice long piece of that. I'm probably taking about at least 18 inches here of our 20 gauge, because remember, our base is made with 18 gauge. And I'm keeping this on the spool because, again, that's a built-in stopper. Plus, if we need more wire, we have it. We don't want to cut it and then try to wrap it, and then we won't have enough space. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just going to take space between each one of these, adding in the 20 gauge. And we don't want to cut ourselves short. So basically that's what that is. So I'm just going to take my 20 gauge, and I'm going to start it below where I did my wraps on my 18 gauge. And I'm just going to put this way so I can work down this way. So I'm just going to try to get a loop around here so it's nice and snug on there on my base wire. And I'm just wrapping my loops around and then moving that up close to the wraps we made with the 18 gauge wire. Where did my tweezer pliers go? There they are. And my mat's slipping, sliding away. So I'm just going to kind of give that a little pinch because that's, it's in where I want it. And we're going to leave that long piece on until the end. So we kind of have this little long piece from the 20 gauge. So we have a handle, basically. Okay. So we're going to hold on to that. And I think what I'm going to do is flip my work because I'm right-handed. I think it'll be a little easier for me to work this way. So now that I have my wire on, I'm going to scooch up, technical term, one of the beads. And I'm going to take my 20 gauge wire and kind of take my thumb in there and shape it around my bead, just like so. Okay. If you can see that. Yes, Terry. Esme has decided that she does not like me working. And she basically tears up something every day for us. So.
You didn't tell me that earlier.
Oh, I didn't? I thought
I mean, you did say she was a terror, but I didn't know the extent
of
it.
Yeah, she's been pretty much every day. Like today, she did nothing because I'm here. She's happy. But when I go, all bets are off. Because sometimes my husband's not home. He does have a home office, but he doesn't work out of it every day. Right. So we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to shape our wire around a bead, and I'm going to the other side. So I have them back and forth like an S pattern. And then I'm going to just wrap around twice. Here. Okay. And we're just going to continue the process. We're going to move up a bead. And as I'm doing that, I'm kind of tightening it up. I'm pushing up on my bead that I just moved up so everything's nice and snug. So I'm going to have to go back here because my loop kind of tightened up too much around my bead. So we're going to just rewrap that. That shows you that you can go back and change your wrap up. I'm just going to straighten this out just a smidge. Okay. And move that back up. And make sure I have my loop like I do on that side. And then give us a wrap.
Hi, Mom. Welcome. I am looking. Does anybody know if you can turn on closed captioning for a live video? I'm looking.
I don't know. I imagine so. If you're watching on a YouTube channel, you should be able to.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Keep looking, Mom. I'm looking here. I don't know. Huh.
Okay. So we're just going to wrap that. And while you're doing this, it's going to try to get caught on all of your tools. When you have long pieces of wire, it tends to do that. So try not to get too frustrated. Okay. So now we have that. Move up one of our beads. And you can hear it grabbing onto the wire spool and everything here. But I'm going to move this. Actually, I'm going to keep that one with the other bead. So when you do your spacers, you can do them individually, or you can put them in with a bead when you do the loop around it with your 20 gauge. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to move it down like it's one unit. Okay. And then we're going to do a loop around that.
Terry, great question. I am using Aileen's matte decoupage. So I like it.
Yeah, I do too. That's a good one. Okay, and we're just working our way down, guys. Wrapping, pushing up a bead, and we're going side to side. And I don't know, because this bead did the same thing. This is made of like a silk thread. So it's collapsing when I'm wrapping it with wire. So I have, that's the same as I did up here. I'm going to have to go back and make sure I don't put too much pressure on it to do it correctly here.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, it collapses when you wrap. It doesn't hold its shape on the wire like the other ones do with the glass.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So, and as you're going, if you notice that you have your loops are on the wrong side, you can just move them over. Wire is very pliable, and that's what I love about wire. You can pretty much make it do what you want. One of them.
Mostly.
Mostly, yeah. Mostly. So I'm gonna do this one. And I just think this just gives it some interest.
Oh yeah.
Doing it this way.
Oh, versus just stringing it on, you mean?
Yeah, just stringing it and not wire wrapping around it or adding, the extra wire. I like to it just seems to add some interest to it. There we go. Another one. We're working our way down.
Yeah. So I'm just gluing on a piece of scrapbooking paper onto an old binder that was just sitting around that had an ugly cover. Can you put Aileen's in the chat? Or you mean a link, Mom? All right. We will work on figuring out subtitles if we can do it next time. I'll have to keep I'll watch videos and seeing if I can find a way to do that for you guys. Sorry about that.
I think there's just a button you push on YouTube. Let me
Probably. Well, we'll figure it out. Yeah. I'll keep looking. You keep working.
Okay. Sounds good, honey.
But it might take me watching a video how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't get commission or anything for Aleen's.
No.
No, but it's one of the, ones out there that everybody kind of knows.
Yep. Yep.
I'm looking for where it is. All right.
And on this side, I'm just going to kind of do the same thing, and I'm just going to wrap, move the beads down and wrap. Same thing, guys, the whole way down. And I think I may be making this way too big, so it may be a necklace. But you can also cut this end off and take off part of the beads if you find you're making it too big, and just make a new loop. Let's move these down. Those are our last ones here. We might be okay. Okay. I haven't made one of these for a while. So what I do, guys, is I go into my made jewelry. I've been trying to do this lately because I have a big bin of it. And I just go through it and pick something out that I've already made and designed to teach, because there's so much that I've done that, I haven't taught yet. And it just gives me good ideas on, what to do and all that. So we're at the end. We're just going to wrap around a few times here. And now we can cut from our spool. And I actually think we're going to be just perfect on this length. It'll be about probably 7 inches when it's done. So that'll be good. So I'm going to leave myself a few inches, maybe 3 or 4 inches on this side. And I'm going to trim the wire. And now we want to be able to make our hook. So our hook is going to be, it's going to start out. Again, I'm just going to take my wire straighteners here. And this is going to just start out as another loop, like an oblong loop. Okay. A little longer than the other one. Okay. See how I'm shaping that? And I'm kind of squeezing this in because we want it to be trim enough that this hook can go into the loop that we created. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just squeeze it down some. And then we're going to take that wire and wrap it around our piece to secure it. Okay. So now that that's secured, all we're going to do is we're going to go in with our pliers. We're going to, like I said, I'm going to kind of move this, make this a little skinnier. And then I'm going to take my pliers, maybe about a 1/4 of an inch up on the end. And I'm going to put a bend in our loop that we made. Okay. So that makes you your hook. All right. So in essence, when we close the bracelet, then we have a loop, we have a hook. We're good to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut off all these little extra pieces of wire, and we're going to start wrapping our small beads in between our other beads. All right, I'm just going to cut these. And you're going to want to push those down so it's not sticking out and it won't grab someone's clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
that
just
would
kind
not
of
be good.
pushing those in. No, it would not. And then we're going to close. We're going to cut this side where we started out with our 20 gauge and do the same thing. Just kind of push that down in there. All right. So this is what we have so far. Our bracelet with our loops. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way here so we can move on to our smaller gauge and our smaller beads. Okay. So I'm just going to pour this mix out, and I'm going to pick some of the tinier beads to go in between.
Harry has a question for you, hon.
Yes. as you open and close this, does the wire eventually work harden? I haven't had that experience. It hasn't been too bad because it's not really, you're going to keep it in mainly in this position, and all when it's just sitting there, you know, it'll be just like that. And all you're really doing it is moving it just slightly to get it to close. So I haven't found that. No. So, and this is artistic wire that I'm using. You can use whatever wire you prefer, of course. So this just has like some nice little crystals in it. And I have some 26 gauge wire here. I'm going to cut a piece of that. I don't want to go too crazy because then it gets caught on everything.
Yeah.
So I have my very thin thread-like 26 gauge. And I'm going to take a drink here, guys, because my throat is actually getting sore.
Aw.
From talking. Because I did all those other videos. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to straighten it back out here. Keep it straight. And we're going to take our fine little 26 gauge. Yes, artistic wire is super nice. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to attach this to the end over top of the wraps that we already made. And it's just, they're just going to disappear in there. Okay. And you have to treat this almost kind of like a piece of thread because it's so thin. Keep it from catching on my tools here. And just, you don't want to get a kink in it. So you have to be very gentle with it and slow and know where you're going to be putting it. Okay. So I have it hooked on here on the end. You can see it just blended in with the others wires. And I'm just going to pick up a crystal or two here. I think for the end part, I'm going to pick up one of these crystals. I'm going to put this over top of our wraps just for cuteness. Okay, I'm just going to pick up two crystals and I'm going to drop those down on my wire. And then I'm going to lay those crystals across those wraps. Just like that. On the top here so we can see it on the outside. Okay. And then I'm just going to wrap around a few times. And then you have two pretty little crystals on the end. So then we're going to run our wire next to the next one. And we're going to do a wrap around. And then grab another bead. And you're just basically building your piece out to, you know, have more interest. So again, we're going to lay that across the top and in between there, give it a wrap. And I run the wire underneath on the inside, the 26 gauge. I keep it straight under there pretty much just to kind of hide it so it doesn't make more loops or anything like that because that's not what I'm looking for. So I'm bringing it over, I'm giving it a wrap.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of going to hide behind the beads.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to pick up another. I mean, some Swarovski bicones would be stunning on here as well. Of course, what are they not stunning on? So I'm just giving that a couple wraps.
You said the word you're not supposed to say.
Oh, I'm over that.
I'm only saying it tongue in cheek here.
For sure. Oh, show. Okay. Oops, I needed a wrap before I put my bead on. Yeah, I like to put it underneath the beads, give it a wrap in the place we're going to secure it. It tends to fall into place easier if you do that instead of just, you know, not wrapping it before you put it in that spot. Okay. So we're just laying across, giving it a wrap. Taking it underneath, giving it a wrap in the next spot, adding crystal. Wrap underneath and a wrap. Sorry guys if I was going off screen there.
It's hard, all that wrapping.
It is. To not catch it on tools and microphones and lights and
you gotta beatbox while you're doing it, right?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Wrapping.
Oh my goodness.
But you can see, I mean, it really comes together rather quickly.
Yeah.
Here.
You're queen of the quick and easy. But looks
quick and easy. Yeah, but looks complicated. That's what I like. And this does. I mean, it looks a lot, to me, I think it looks a lot more difficult than what it really is.
Right.
All right. So we're working our way over. And of course, did you hear that bark? That is Esme.
Bark. Oh my
that is Esme. That's a big girl bark if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
I'm like, she has a deeper bark than our older one. It's really something.
Wow.
She's going to be a giant.
She's so big already. Oh
I know. And the breeder said 45 pounds.
She's already there.
Oh my gosh, she's almost 50. And she's 7 months old.
So crazy.
I guess we must have gave her Wheaties. Made her a strong puppy. Oops, I did again. I didn't do my wrap.
It was spinach. Don't lie. It was spinach.
Spinach. I was giving some to her and Popeye. But yeah, she's certainly healthy, which is wonderful.
Yay.
So we're getting to the last few here, guys. And I'm just doing every other bicone and then like a crystal. I'm going bicone, crystal, bicone, crystal. That's all I'm doing here. Okay. Go there. Well, thank you, Carrie. I'm glad you like the technique. Yeah, I mean, apply it to your colors and, you know, whatever you like working with. And I love as I'm going here, I can just straighten this out and put everything exactly where I want it because it's wire. Okay, so one more bicone here. This would make a gorgeous choker too if you made it long enough.
Oh yeah.
This would be a gorgeous choker, and you could just put the same kind of hook on it. Yeah. You could even put dangles coming down from the loops or something. That would be beautiful.
Dingle dangles.
Yeah, the good old dingle dangles. All right. A couple more, and we are done with that part. And I'm trying to get this, as I'm working here, this doesn't want to fall between. It's trying to go over top of my wire. So I'm just taking my finger now and pushing it down there because that's not where I wanted it. So I have to make it go where I want it.
Okay.
Okay. Only a few more, guys.
You're doing great. You're good on time.
Good.
Probably
yeah, and
low on energy.
I am, but that's okay. Seems to be the thing lately. So it's all right. I'll get in, you know,
groove. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm slowly getting there, getting up earlier and all that stuff. So now I'm just taking my 2 crystals on the end. Actually, I'm going to wrap that first and then put my crystals on. So this is making this real time, guys. So far we're at 4:39 and we had a few minutes at the beginning where we were chit-chatting. So, I mean, even if you're a slow wire wrapper, you could make it in an hour easy.
My kind of project.
Yeah. And so I'm just wrapping that end, just making sure everything is nice and secure. I'm going to take my flush cutters in and give that a trim. And then I'm going to put that end down. So it's nice. Now what we're going to do now is we need to get everything nice and straight and put it exactly where we want it before we bend it into its final position.
Yes.
So we're going to take, I'm going to wrap that one more time, cut that wire from our 26 gauge. All right.
Could you do 22 for that? Or
yeah, you could do 20, 22, 24, 26, but it all depends on what your fingers can handle, as well as what you have in your stash, things like that. Okay. So it'll be a little more difficult to use the 22, but you could certainly do it. You could even do it with 20 if you're a seasoned wire worker.
22 is just my favorite. That's
yeah. You could certainly do it. It would be like, my theory on this was with wrapping these crystals in between, I kind of wanted to hide the wire.
Right. So that makes
But if you wanted to show the wire, wire, you could go back. Even now, I could go back with my 20 gauge and add more loops if I wanted to. Just go in and, just make more loops on it if you so desire. This is just a basic concept here. So we basically, all we're going to do is just kind of shape that. If you have a bracelet mandrel, which I do here somewhere, but you can just shape it. But to me, it works just as well, just to kind of shape it. Just like so. And then
it's going to get out of shape on, like, kind of form to whoever wears it too.
Right. So that gives you the basic concept, and now you can run with it. Woo-hoo. And make your own designs and post them in our Queen Beaders Facebook group.
Yeah, you guys have been doing great. I've been loving seeing everybody's projects.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Keep it up, please. We love seeing it. And
absolutely.
Hearing what people are doing.
But let me know what you think about this one, guys. It's a quick and easy statement piece. And make sure to show me what you make. I'm going to turn my camera around. This is actually gone much quicker than I expected it to. I really like this. And you could even add a large chain to hook into if you prefer. Absolutely. Yeah. You could do hooks on both sides. And you could even put leather or put loops on both sides and put your leather through it. Make a necklace, or if you want to only do a few beads in the front and then make loops and hook your leather on. There's so many things that you could do with this design. All right, I'm going to turn my camera around now. I'm just going to remove myself. I have some fancy beads to do this with. I have made a half dozen of your berry style bracelets with the knots on 3 beads and multi-strands. Oh, well, that's wonderful, Terry.
Berry bracelet. Oh my gosh, that was. I love wearing mine. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful! I'm so glad you guys enjoyed those cherry tree bracelets. And Carrie, great new technique to use up my beads. Absolutely, girlfriend. We're always looking for that.
Oh yeah, this is a good bead soup one too. Yeah, definitely.
I'm just gonna stay here and turn it because it's much quicker when I do it this way for some reason. So there I am, and there's my armpit and my light. Oh. See, it goes really quick. I don't know why when I go to my cam down below, it takes longer. But
that's so random.
Go figure.
Now you get my camera out of my face. all the cameras.
Oh, it says, Carrie says, great job. And I have never touched my JJB magical mystery boxes yet. So yeah, there you go. Make some of these up. These are beautiful little bracelets. How pretty for fall, you know. Let me hook it here so you can actually see it hooked and it's not flying around on my wrist. So
yeah, it looks like, and Terry's talking about, yes, cheap seed beads, not worth it, but I'm glad the cherry tree bracelet project works for them. Oh, look at how pretty. It's so pretty.
So there you go. What did Terry said? Cheap is not better, folks. It is just not better. No, it's not.
She's talking about seed beads, yeah.
Oh, mediocre seed beads. The cherry tree project is perfect for them. Yes, because
that's all you can use it for.
But it's kind of built for that because it is, it's supposed to be nature. So you can use up, that's what I do. I use up my 6/0s, and you could even probably do it with 8/0s if you had them. But I like the 6/0s because it's easy to get the hemp through the 6/0s. But yeah, if you have not seen our cherry tree bracelet that we did, it's been a few weeks now. We both have it posted on our YouTube channels. Check it out. Go back and see what Terry's talking about if you have not done so yet. Thank you. Nice fall colors. Echoes of hope. Oh, thank you. Eileen. I always forget that.
That's
Eileen.
Okay.
Thank you, Eileen. Terry, what do you got to say? And that isn't fair. Beads are beads.
Yes,
you can afford, honestly. You will find patterns that work with any beads at all. Absolutely.
Yeah, you could probably, I've found lots of seed beads, decent ones on, like, people have given, like, I don't know, like on different, I don't know, people have donated to me, but I bet you can find some decent ones, like buy used ones. Like,
yeah. Or like I've seen, I don't know if you guys have ever checked out thrift stores for beads.
Oh yeah, people give away.
I actually went into a thrift store. It's been a few months now. And I went over, they had like this big bin of like craft stuff. As I walked over, I saw a bin of beads that looked really promising. There was a woman standing there, and didn't she pick them up and put them in her arms before I got over there?
So they must have been decent.
I was like, hey, I felt like that. I'm like, hey, but like I need more beads anyway. But
like I need more anything.
Yeah, I hear you, girl. I hear you. Especially after Bead Fest, I kind of went a little crazy.
Yes, I'm all about finding old jewelry too, and taking it apart and repurposing. Yeah,
yes, absolutely. Definitely. And I actually collect brooches or brooches, however you like to say it.
I love collecting brooches too.
I know, and they work out so good, like for my doggy collars that I make.
Oh, I bet. Oh my goodness, look at that butterfly. So is that a new one? I don't remember that one.
No, but it's
has grown.
Yeah, it's got it hasn't grown. No, I beaded all this on the bottom, but I put the brooch in the center. So anyway.
Yes, I get it from my mother. That's my mom, everybody. Say hi to Eileen.
Hi, Eileen. We're glad to have you. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this project this week. I will take a picture and put it on the thumbnail for you, post it in the group, and do it. Check it out. Spend some time making something you love this week, and I'm so glad to have everybody at our new time, Wednesdays at 4. Your pooch is so glam, too glam to destroy things while you're away. Behave as I. She is pretty grand, and so is Arwen. Arwen's stunningly gorgeous. She doesn't get enough credit.
Hi to you too, Mom.
Oh, there you go.
Now we just gotta get your mom on and.
But yeah, the white one Arwen doesn't get enough credit because she is stunningly beautiful as well. I mean,
yes, she is. She's a beautiful dog.
So, but one of these days I'll bring her in so you guys can see her. But nonetheless, it's not dog talk, it's bead talk. So
We're crafting.
it's
If you so
crafting.
choose.
If you
Crafting.
so decide. So, all right, guys, have a great week, and we will see you next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Take care, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.